Hello, my gorgeous light beings, my healers, my star seeds, my light workers. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, The Pleiadian Priestess. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you for coming back and allowing me to read for you. Today's reading is going to be about lessons. What is the next lesson we're going to learn? But mainly, what's the lesson or lessons we're learning this year? You guys were liking the spiritual content, so we're going to continue in that vein and get more into what are you going to be learning about yourself, life, love, friends, that kind of thing this year, something really wholesome, I guess we can go along and say. So we have 3 readings today. You're going to choose a thumbnail image, the colors, whatever calls out to you the most, even the number, the energies. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people at your reading. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if the reading particularly resonated with you. Share with a friend who you may think needs a message about lessons they need to learn. And yeah, I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 1, option 1, however you find yourself here, welcome. Today's reading is going to be, what lesson will you learn this year? So I did this reading topic a few years ago on my Instagram, like tarot Instagram, and I feel like it's coming up again. So we're just going to see what lesson you're going to learn this year. I feel like I can get more in depth if I do a tarot reading instead of like a, what do you call it? Written out format, because there was a pick a card reading on Instagram where you chose an option and then swiped and read a paragraph or so. It would be much easier to digest if I were to just, say it out in a reading. So let's see. What lessons will you learn this year? I'm hearing to lead with love. Lead with love. When I was shuffling the cards before starting your reading, I was also hearing How to Love by Lil Wayne. So maybe we're going to be learning how to love, how to lead with love. Your year is all going to be about all kinds of love, not just romantic. How to learn how to love yourself, family, friends, whatever. And let's see what comes through. And then I also saw the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So lighting other people's flames. Maybe some of you are learning to be more motherly, more soft, more warm, more open, emotionally. I'm also hearing expressively as well. The way you express yourself, you're going to be more open in that regard, because the Empress is very much creativity and she does whatever she wants and things just flourish under her care, I'm hearing long hair, don't care. So maybe some of you are learning how to take care of your hair, better take care of your hair. I love how we have the Queen of Wands and the Empress energy. Wow, this is quite unbeatable. You're learning how to be sexy. You're learning how to step into your feminine and sit there prettily. I was like, earlier I was like doing work and I don't know why the Empress kept popping into my mind. And I'm like, I need to find a better way to describe her in readings because she comes out quite often. And I'm like, oh, she's going to be my sit pretty, just sitting pretty card. And that's literally what that is. And then we have the Queen of Wands coming out after that to show. And I just saw 222 on the timer. But she's literally sitting there, putting on her lipstick, the Queen of Wands in the mirror, admiring herself. The Empress energy is all about nurturing the more feminine parts of ourselves. So like I said, learning how to do hair, makeup, cosmetics, learning how to dress better, putting more effort into how you look. A makeover is what I'm hearing as well. I'm hearing revenge body. And I think that was a show that Khloe Kardashian made or posted. And it was about people who used to look not the best. Who went on the show and lost weight or had a makeover, and then that was revenge body. That's kind of what's coming through for you guys. So that could be what you're focusing on this year, the lesson you're learning. How to enhance what you already have, okay? I'm hearing shake what your mama gave you. That's funny. Okay, here we have Hangman. Patience as well. Patience. It takes time to transform anything. Anyone, whether it's mental transformation or physical transformation, it takes time for you to step into a new normal. It takes time for something to become a habit. I'm trying to remember whether it's 30 days or 60 days for you to continuously do something before it becomes a habit. So if you're trying to eat better, it takes 60 days. We'll go with that one. Give you a little bit more time to become a pro at things. Maybe you guys are perfectionists and you're kind of like, you thought you would get the hang of it right away and it's taking a little bit more time. And your lesson this year is going to be perfection takes practice and it takes patience, right? Even though we grow up in a world where perfect is not a thing, there are things that are perfect for you. We'll go with that, okay? Things that are perfect for you take time, okay? It takes careful planning, right? And it takes you putting in the effort and not giving up. So that's the kind of energy coming through. And what I'm getting with the Queen of Wands, she's a very, like, not so much on the Queen of Wands, but she's a very entitled kind of woman. Like, whatever she wants in that moment, she's gonna go after it unabashedly until she gets it. Nobody's stopping her. Nobody's holding her back. And along the way, she's gonna pick up little people who are helping her. I'm hearing minions. Like in the movie Despicable Me, Gru literally, I think his name was Gru. Don't quote me on that. Because they was talking about Gru and Drew and all kind of stuff. But Gru couldn't do his world domination without help, and he made a bunch of minions to help him. No, they couldn't speak, but they followed behind him blindly. They were loyal. So it's getting, you're going to be gaining more followers as well. Maybe you are thinking about becoming like a beauty personality or something like that. The influencers where they do the makeup and the hair and the whatever, and it starts off as a follow me along this journey through growing my hair or learning how to do makeup or learning how to dress myself or losing weight or becoming my inner baddie or outer baddie, whatever you want to fucking call it. That's the kind of journey you're going to be going through. So it's going to be learning self-love. And, you know, I'm hearing discipline as well. But along the way, you're going to be picking up followers or people who are like, oh, what is she going to do next? You know, people who are just waiting with bated breath to see what the outcome will be, right? The next time you post a new makeup look, people are going to be there waiting. The next time you post a next get ready with me, they're going to be waiting. And you like turn this lesson you learned into like not even a business or a career, because I don't think that's why you're doing it, but it became something that you weren't expecting it. It grew legs. Is that what they call it? When something like takes off and you weren't really expecting it, it grew legs and now it's walking and talking and growing. So a baby, yes, a baby. The Empress is not only birthing a physical baby, she could be birthing hypothetical babies, creative babies, business babies. She is just birthing something and taking care of it along the way, right? So she has the baby here and she's breastfeeding the baby here, and that's nourishing the baby, making sure it's eating, it's sleeping, you know what I mean? Doing everything you can for it to become the best, most well-rounded, beautiful, healthy human it could be, or business it could be, or idea it could be, or even you it could be. You're taking care of yourself, you know? You're mothering yourself, your inner child, whatever you want to call it, is the vibe coming through for you guys. That is a lesson you're learning this year, but patience is going to be a big thing here, because the hangman is someone who is going to be stuck in this stasis mode until he learns the lesson he was meant to learn. And the hangman and the hermit kind of usually get lumped into the same category in my mind, but I feel like there are very distinct differences. The hermit is someone who purposely puts himself in a position of learning more, of going within, of searching, soul searching, growing. You know what I mean? The hangman is someone who did not have a choice, right? And he's going to stay in that position until he decides that he's ready to move forward. He's ready to learn the lesson this time. He's ready to graduate with honors, that kind of thing. The hangman is stuck in the hangman energy until he finishes learning what he was meant there to learn, right? So one is involuntary, the next one is voluntary. So somebody here is involuntarily something you weren't planning, or something you were planning, or something that you were planning ends up catapulting into this thing that you weren't planning, okay? Yeah, like I was saying, you're going to go on this journey and then it ends up becoming a career, or it ends up becoming a little baby or something that you love, and you end up finding your purpose within it, but it's something that you are like involuntarily thrust into that becomes maybe, I guess, voluntary because it's more fun. So we have the Empress, and the Empress says, there is beauty to be found in every experience. You are finding the beauty in every experience this year as well. But you're big, like, I'm hearing you did your big one, Lord. You're the big lesson you're going to be learning this year is a few of them, but the most you're going to be learning is trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, putting your creativity where your mouth is, putting your money where your mouth is, putting your confidence where your mouth is, that kind of thing. You're going to be building your self-esteem this year is the lesson you're learning, and you're not going to be able to move on until you come out of this feeling like the Empress and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so if this has not resonated thus far, this ain't your reading. Go choose another group, but that's the vibe that's coming through for you guys. But I'm really getting a vibe of like dressing, flowers. Maybe you're going to be in your girly era, you know, what do they call it? Soft girl, lover girl energy, right? It's soft girl. Yeah, I said in my other reading. Oh, sorry. Soft wig, no, hard wig, soft life is the vibe that's coming through for y'all. But I'm not getting that your wig gonna be hard. Okay, your wig gonna be slayed. We don't gotta worry about that. There's some people who could have a nice wig and a soft life too. Okay, but that's the reference that's coming through. You're gonna be, something has to be hard for something to get soft, you know. So I guess we'll go with that example. Things have to get to the breaking point. We are ready to finally just, you know, make a change, you know, make that change. And that's man in the mirror. So there is something here about looks, beauty, whatever you want to call it, coming through in your group very heavily. So it is giving, like I said, hair, makeup, clothes, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, red is also coming through. I'm getting like a big red vibe. Maybe you're going to be dyeing your hair red. This lady here has purple hair. And I love that this deck was made more modernly, because it's not giving just the regular hair colors. It's giving all the hair colors now, because basically in this day and age, you can get your hair any color you want it, child. Okay, maybe you're going to be healing your hair after it was damaged, you know, chemically, with the bleach and the color. You're going to start growing it naturally again, or maybe you're going to go from it being natural to dyeing it a different color, and that's like a journey you're going to be going on, right? Because I feel like the natural hair movement was something that was not planned. I'm hearing the revolution is not televised. That is funny. The revolution is not televised, but I feel like the brunt of what you're going to be going through will not be posted if you do decide to post this journey you're going on. But the whole natural hair movement back when I was in high school was not planned. It was basically girls, black girls, who just wanted to know how to do their hair. They wanted to know what it was like, and we were moving away from the whole perm and texturizers and that kind of thing, and we were moving on to doing our natural hair. But hey, how do we do our natural hair? We were never taught how to do it, and it was like trial and error. And those are the girls who became the people we looked up to when it was time for us to learn how to do our hair, right? The people who did it through trial and error, who was creative with it, who filmed it, that kind of thing. And I think that's the vibe that's coming through for you guys, you know? Like, you're not really looking for something, but finding something along this journey here with these lessons that you've been learning, right? Maybe some of you are actually going to like beauty school, and that's a lesson you're learning. You're going to be getting your, I don't know what it's called. Is it a degree? If you go to beauty school, you get a beauty school degree, a certificate. I don't freaking know. But that's kind of coming through. You go to the school, get the degree, and once you graduate, you can finally leave and move on to like finding a job now. But you're not going to be able to get out of this lesson until I'm leaving here with something. It's what I just heard as well. Not y'all have freaking Denzel coming through. I'm leaving here with something. That's the vibe that's coming through. You're not going to be able to move on to the next lesson or the next chapter of your life until you finish this one here. So if you kind of feel like you've been stuck in a limbo, that makes sense, because you have to leave here with something. It's basically the vibe that's coming through. And if you're not leaving here with anything, you're going to be stuck, right? It's giving, what was the movie? Groundhog Day, where it just kept repeating itself. Now, I don't think I've ever watched that movie, but they did like a somewhat of a similar spinoff with, like, I think Before I Fall or Before I Go, where the girl was like living the same day over and over again. And at the end of it, she ends up like dying in a car crash, and she has to keep living it over and over again until she makes changes, I think, and then she survives, you know? Yeah, exactly. And so she was forced to keep dying over and over again in that movie until she became a better person, I think was the, you know, the whole thing behind the movie, right? Yeah, it's giving that Groundhog Day. I think the movie is called Before I Fall or Before I Go. I don't remember. And then another movie is coming through. What was it called? The Christmases? The Ghost of Christmas Past, the Scrooge movie. Ebenezer Scrooge. That man was going to die alone until them ghostesses came and said, hey, sir, fix yourself. And then he went through the whole Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future, child. And then I think at the end of the movie he changed. I'm also hearing the Grinch. Ew, what are y'all doing this year? Y'all going in. The Grinch, he started off real rude and dusty and musty, and then his heart ended up growing 3 sizes by the end of the movie. He's so little. That's what's coming through for you guys. So like I said, your heart is definitely growing, okay? The love you have for yourself, others, the world around you, you know? And I'm hearing that song by, what's her name? Haley Steinfeld. Now You're Bringing Me Back to Life. It's a song that she did for the movie Bumblebee. So bees can be important here. Cars, maybe you're getting a car. I don't freaking know. But that's like a song she released for the movie Bumblebee. I think it was the name of the movie. I think. And I think Bumblebee was like a Transformers-esque kind of movie where the car transformed into fighting robots. I don't freaking know. Stop it. I was not a Transformers girl, okay? But Bumblebee was a transforming car, you know? Right up there with, what's that other car's name? Herbie? I know that movie, though. With Lindsay Lohan, yeah. Okay, but yeah. We'll go with the Queen of Wands and read what she says. Replace your self-doubt with self-confidence is definitely a lesson you're learning this year as well. And the way she just keeps dressing up herself to look really beautiful and pretty. Flowers could be important. You're going to be buying yourself more flowers. Like if you don't have a man or a woman, whatever y'all like, okay, whatever y'all rock with. If y'all don't have a person, a romantic interest who's buying you flowers, buy yourself flowers, okay? It's kind of giving, like if you don't have a partner, treat yourself how you would want your partner to treat you in the efforts of manifesting a romantic interest. You want to go out on dates, take yourself out on a date. You want to get all cute for a date? Get yourself all cute for a date. If you want flowers, buy yourself flowers. You know what I mean? Treat yourself how you'd want somebody to treat you. Wine and dine yourself, okay? That could also be a lesson you're learning. Because in all of these 3 cards, she's by herself, except for this first card here with the Empress, where she's breastfeeding the baby. Maybe some of y'all are learning the lesson of becoming a mother this year, okay? The actual factual, like you had an actual baby, okay? And you're breastfeeding that child. And that comes with its own trial and error as well. So lessons, okay? What does the Hangman say? It says, learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. Interesting. And that's what I was saying. Sometimes you literally have to sit in one spot and you can't move. And until you learn to do that, you're going to keep failing the test, right? And it's like organized religion. Interesting. I meant to say organized education, like in school, how we're supposed to sit all day for 8 hours learning these things in school. We have to ask to go to the bathroom. We have to get dismissed for lunch. Like our life is like literally being micromanaged by other adults for most of our lives until we become an adult and have to do it ourselves. But it's kind of like you have to sit there during class. You cannot get up and go to the bathroom and do whatever you want. And that is teaching you how to sometimes just sit still. And if you don't do that, and if you misbehave or speak out of turn or disrupt the class, you're going to fail the class. And you're going to have to go back and do it until you get it right. Yeah, okay. So we're going to stop passioning that into your skull. That's the lesson you're learning. But I do think a lot of you are falling in love with yourselves this year, and that's a song coming through by Dylan Dunlap. I think it's called If That's All Right, and I've said it a few times in readings. But he's like, I'm just falling in love with myself tonight. I'm not scared of being alone with my hell of a mind. Now, I'm not trying to be rude. I love everything about you, but I'm just falling in love with myself tonight, if that's all right. And that song, when I first heard it, oh my gosh, it's so good. I recommend you listen to it. Like, it's just so, it's so pure. You know, we hear so many songs about falling in love with everybody else. We never hear a song about falling in love with ourselves. We're stuck with ourselves our whole lives. Y'all, the least you can do is fall in love with yourself. Ugh. Anyway, that's what the Queen of Wands is doing. She's sitting there admiring herself, like, hey, gorgeous, what's up? You know? Okay, let's get some oracle cards for you guys and see what else is coming through, what other lessons you'll be learning. Wow, that did not just blow away all the cards. How rude. But seeing as, like I said, all the cards here are by herself, it's definitely you being by yourself this year, falling in love with yourself. My group ones, what lesson will they learn this year? Or lessons, plural. I'm getting a big vibe of learning how to do your hair. Maybe you're going to be wearing flowers in your hair as well, because we have the Empress. She has the flower crown. And then in the Queen of Wands, she has the sunflower behind her ear. So finding new cute ways to style your hair, you know. I'm getting like, yeah, you're getting creative in how you dress and style yourself. That's a big lesson that keeps coming through. Okay, give me a card. What lesson are they learning this year, please? What lesson are they learning this year? Fall can be important. Summer can be important as well. Wearing frilly, girly dresses, doing your makeup, looking at yourself like, oh, look at that fine girl in the mirror or fine guy in the mirror, going to the gym, maybe working on your body some more, you know what I mean? Trying to look your best, right? You want to look spiffy is the vibe coming through. So fresh and so clean. Why am I hearing freaking SpongeBob? What's that episode where he cleans the spatula and he's like, bling, sparkle, sparkle. That's coming through as well. Come on, we still haven't got card yet. That's crazy. Okay, there we go. We have ghosts. Oh my. And we were just talking about ghosts earlier too here. That's funny. Maybe you are coming to terms with some ghosts you have from your past as well. Healing. That's what I was saying. You're going to be healing your inner child. I believe I mentioned that earlier. If I didn't, I'm mentioning it again. Okay. This is the first time I've gotten this card as well. I didn't know that was in here. Ghosts. Oh my. I'm hearing lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Maybe you're kind of going on a journey similar to Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, and there was one more person, right? There was a Tin Man, there was a Scarecrow, and the lion. Yeah. They kind of go on a lesson. Yeah. Oh my gosh, exactly. The freaking lesson of the Wizard of Oz is everything they were looking for and wishing for the wizard to grant them, they already had, right? The cowardly lion wanted to be brave. By the end of the journey, he realized he was already brave and he was always brave. It was always in him. The Tin Man wanted a heart, which I didn't mention during the reading, which is crazy. He wanted a heart. He wanted to be able to feel things. He didn't want to be so cold. And by the end of the movie, they were able to show him multiple times during their journey to Oz or through Oz how he had shown he already had a heart. The Scarecrow wanted to be real. I forget what his wish was. The Scarecrow. I forget his wish. And Dorothy just wanted to go home, child. She's like, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. Okay, not another second, not another day. What did the Scarecrow want to be? He wanted to be smart. Yes, he wanted to be smart, I believe is what his thing was. So he wanted to be smart. The other one wanted to have a heart. The other one wanted to be, not so scaredy. You know what I mean? And along the way, they each learned, like, through different instances that were brought back to their attention, how they each showed those aspects, and it was already within them. I love this. This is a beautiful message, guys. I love this for you guys, okay? What else is coming through? And it's also funny how I was talking about ghosts of Christmas past and Ebenezer Scrooge, and ghosts came through. So you are definitely coming to peace with some ghosts from your past. That's coming through as well. Becoming a better person, becoming nicer. Your heart is definitely healing, and it's gonna allow you to be more open and warm. The Queen of Wands can be in all of her arrogance and leadership And entitlement, she's also very warm, she's bright, she's sunny, she's playful, you know what I mean? She's feisty, she's fiery, she does everything with a full, you know, a full heart. She puts her all into everything that she goes after, everything she wants. And that's something that you're learning this year, to fight for what you want, to fight for yourself, to speak up for yourself, to advocate for yourself. Especially if you want things in life, you have to advocate for yourself, because no one's going to advocate for you, unfortunately. Some people will, but most people have to learn how to speak up and fight for themselves. That's also something you're learning. You're finding your voice, your power, your courage. You're finding your heart, you're finding your brain, you're finding your courage, and you're finding your way back home, like Dorothy did. And they said, girl, those shoes you had on the whole time, you could have been home if you believed, or if you know. So anyway, we have luck coming through. Another lesson that you're going to learn is that things can literally just fall from the sky if you were to ask, especially with the Empress coming through here. The Empress is an ask and you shall receive kind of energy. She sits pretty and waits for things to come to her. So you are going to be sitting in a feminine energy this year. That's a lesson you're learning, to no longer chase. We're not in our masculine this year. No, we're in our feminine. The feminine gets cute. She attracts. If someone asks her out on a date, where are we going? What time should I meet you? What time are you going to come pick me up? You know what I mean? This video always comes through and it's so funny. This guy was basically giving women advice on how to date men. And he was like, if he comes to your house and like beeps for you to come outside, block him and go back home. You know, don't even come out the door. If he does come and knock on your door and then walk to your car and there are no flowers on the seat and you open the door, go back in the house. He's like, if he does come to your door, he does open your door and there's flowers on the seat and you sit down, cool. But then if y'all sit in the car and he's asking, oh, so where are we going? Get back in the house and throw those raggedy flowers away. He had me dying. And he's like, okay, if he does open your door and there are flowers on the seat and he already knows where he's going because you need a man with a plan, okay? And y'all sitting there at dinner and he's like, we're going to split this. And he was just had me dying. Like, if y'all want to see the video, if you haven't already, because it got a lot of views, I would definitely go find it for you guys and, put it in the description box or paste it in the reply in your comments, because I think every girl needs to see it. He's like, the way that y'all bleed every month and y'all got to deal with all these pains and cramps and problems, y'all gonna be sitting here having some guy, stare in your face and not even do anything or not even bring you flowers. And he's just so emotive. He's so expressive. He had me dying. He's like, and throw those raggedy flowers away. I'm like, okay, sir. Okay, aye, Captain. He's like, it's too hard out here and women have to go through too much and be dealing with men who are not bringing their A game, right? And I'm like, you said what you said, sir. Yes, I applaud you. It's the funniest video ever. That's the kind of vibe that's coming through. You're no longer chasing love. You're no longer chasing men. You're having them chase you because you realize that all along you are the prize. Okay? And there's also something else that I was watching. I forget when. Maybe it was like yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I was watching a reader. I think her name is like Haley Strawberry. She's a pretty relatively new tarot reader on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, she's the cutest thing ever. And I'm like, her video popped up, so I watched it. And she was like how sometimes when you come from an unhealed or traumatic background where overgiving in order to receive love was the norm, sometimes when you go into relationships and you overgive and you overcompensate and you do too much and you become like you're chasing behind someone and chasing love, you don't realize that that's not normal until you constantly have to deal with being broken up with, or these people running from you, or saying you're doing too much, that you're too much. You just know that when you grew up, you had to earn the love that you were given. And that's how you operate in relationships from then on, right? So sometimes it takes you a minute to realize, oh, this is not the norm. This is not what I'm required to do. They're supposed to woo me and wow me and, treat me, that kind of thing, Treat me like I treat booty, booty, booty. That song is coming through by 𝐓𝐿𝐴. Treat me. And you don't realize that you're supposed to be the one that's treated. You're the prize here. But even from jump, in any kind of, household, you were, required to earn love. And that's how you move throughout your relationships. And that's not the norm. It's not normal. So it's something you've had to learn. That could be something you're learning where you don't have to overgive and overcompensate and do the most just to, to earn somebody's love. That kind of thing is coming through. The Empress is abundant in all forms. You know what I mean? People praise her. People people flood her with gifts and compliments because she's beautiful. She's divine femininity, the embodiment of it, right? She's the divine mother. She cares for everyone. She treats people. She's open. She's loving. That's something you could be learning how to do after coming from a household or growing up as someone who was like, no, I don't want to get hurt or being mistreated, right? It's coming through for you guys. Where did this card come from? That's crazy. But yeah, we have ghosts coming through here. So yeah, all these ghosts that from your past are going to be coming out this year. And you're going to have to be clearing them out the way. Like, bye. You're going to be digging all these little graves and burying all these things and moving along with your life, okay? Here we have luck coinciding with the Empress. Everything is falling from the sky, and everything that you could ever want, you're going to be getting, right? You're going to realize that it was just that easy. I didn't have to go chasing and begging and crying for these fishes to fall. They're just falling from the sky because I simply asked for it and I know what I deserve now. Is the vibe that's coming through for you guys. And then we have illusion. You're realizing that all these things were like, I don't know, I'm hearing that time is a social construct, that there's no need to, like I was talking about with the hangman, you're going to be learning a lot of patience, right? Because you're realizing that everything doesn't have to happen now. And even if you are a little impatient, you're learning that things can come as easy as a snap of a finger, right? Things are so easy for you to manifest and to accept and to come your way as soon as you enter into this divine feminine energy. There's no more, no less that you have to do. You just got to sit pretty and things come to you. It's the vibe that's coming through for you guys here, okay? But the illusion is like you're realizing that a lot of things in your life were an illusion. You weren't seeing it clearly, right? Okay? Your Delulu was not the Slulu. It's basically what I'm getting for you guys. Because sometimes Delulu is a Slulu, but your Delulu, the world you were living in where you have to chase and earn people's love and affection and make these men think they're the prize and overgive and all that kind of stuff and just accept the bare minimum and give your body away on the first date and all this kind of stuff you learned, you realize that was all fake. And all you have to do was respect yourself, sit pretty. You're entering your baddie era. Like, I need y'all, if you haven't already, this is your first time seeing me, go watch my reading about what next era are you entering in your life. Because there was one reading that was giving baddie era, and I feel like you guys would, coincide well with that reading or that pile. But it's giving baddie, it's giving soft girl. I'm accepting everything that I deserve in the world. I'm sitting back and allowing whatever I want to come my way. I'm not forcing it. I'm not doing the most anymore. I'm just sitting back and receiving. And that's just about it. Everything that I've been doing thus far has been an illusion. Like the way that, like I said, the characters in The Wizard of Oz thought they needed to have somebody else grant their wish, that everything they wanted was on the outside of them. You're learning that everything was already on the inside of you all along. You just had to learn how to act right or place the elements in the right spot. You were always beautiful. You just have to learn how to do your hair properly and dress properly and to learn how to accentuate what you already have. You know what I mean? The confidence. Once you add confidence to anything, it's over, right? Don't wait for your body to be the perfect size to wear that dress. Is also something else that I saw this earlier today. And this lady was like, don't wait for you to have abs to wear the dress. Just wear the dress. Confidence makes all the difference in the world. And that's something that you are definitely incorporating in your life this year. Now let's get some more cards and see what else is coming through for you. What else is coming through for my group? Pregnancy. Wow. Your lesson this year is creativity, building something from scratch, nurturing a project or a hope or a dream from scratch and taking care of it and building it into something bigger. For the others of you, you could be getting pregnant this year if that's something that you want. If it's not, then be careful, because it's not something that just happens to you. It's something that you cooperate in. So don't be coming and saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to get pregnant. No, if you do things or do take preventative measures, you will not. Okay? Some of you have already had kids, or you are with a child right now. And that's another lesson you're going to be learning. Focus on yourself during this pregnancy. Make sure you're good, because when babies come, they do not make anything easier. Okay, they're cute. Heck yeah. They're small, they're innocent, of course, but they need a lot of time and attention. If you don't already have a good head on your shoulders and a good routine in place to take care of you and make sure you're doing good in your life and thriving at all times, it's going to be 100 times harder with a baby there demanding your every freaking time and attention, you know? They're demanding every second of your life, like, me, it's all about me, you know? So spend this time focusing on you, especially if you're someone who's contemplating having a child. Just think about, it's a lot of work, guys. Like, as someone who was a oldest sister my whole life, taking care of everyone else's kids, then I went on to babysit kids. Then even during the pandemic, I was babysitting a baby. Like, I watched him grow up from 6 months. I was taking care of him to you know, now he's like 4, 5. Like, yeah, because the pandemic was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, like, it's not, I was only there for a few hours. It is hard. I can't even. Those times with them kids, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want kids no more. I'm good, love and joy. I want to enjoy my time, my me time, okay? Now we have someone is expecting, yeah. So someone around you, or you could be expecting, or you will be expecting this year, okay? It's something you're actively trying for. And the Empress came out to clarify it, and this came out to double down on that card, okay? In case you doubted it. What lesson will they be learning this year? Please spirit my group ones. My group ones, what lesson will they be learning this year? Okay. We have let go. You're going to learn to let go. I'm hearing that song from Kesha, Learn to Let Go. And that's an album she made after the whole allegation she made against her former, like, record label producer or something. She's like, I had to learn to let go. Like, whatever was coming his way was going to come his way, especially because no one believed her. Something like that was the case, I feel like. Here we have narcissist. I feel like you're going to be feeling yourself. It's as simple as that. You're going to be feeling yourself with this narcissist card here. But let go says, make room for the new beginning that's on its way to you now. Okay? And the narcissist says, if someone is too full of themselves, you're going to be full of yourself. This is another confirmation. You're going to be in love with yourself by the end of the year. No matter what you look like, whether you worked out, whether you know, was giving, how recently I started going on, like, my whole makeup journey after I was so adamant. If you would have asked me even a year ago if I was someone who would, like, ever buy makeup and wear it, like, often, I would say heck no. But something just blossomed in me, like, not a few months ago, it had to have been like a while ago, like half a year ago. I was like, at least try it. Like, I realized that I wanted to experience life, and I wanted to experience everything at least once. And I was just like, no, makeup is not for me. I'm not going to be good at it. It's going to be too much. I sweat like a freaking pig, guys. Like, and I'm like, no, it's going to be a waste of money to buy all this makeup and just for me to sweat it off and da-da-da-da. Like, all this excuse I was making all these years. Something in me just said, try it. And now I love it. I just be trying to make up makeup styles, try to go somewhere just to make a new makeup look for myself and just experiment. And it's like a part of creativity. And I'm like, oh, I love this, right? Even if I do sweat it all off, it was fun doing it in the moment. I'm feeling myself, and it's beautiful. Like, I fell in love with myself without the makeup all these years, and now I'm falling in love with myself with the makeup, and I know I can rock both. I'm gorgeous either way. But the whole creativity and the artistic aspect of it, I love it, right? I always wanted to be a painter. I was never really that good. I didn't even try, honestly. But I always wanted to be a painter, you know, an artist, a sculptor, using my hands. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. And now I'm the sculpture. I'm pouring into myself, making sure I look good and make sure I feel good, buying more clothes, styling myself. Like, those things help, you know? Just putting some more effort into yourself. Your hair's going to grow longer. It's going to thrive. It's going to be thick, healthy, and full because you're taking care of it, right? Your skin, you're going to do more skincare, and you're going to do, you know, wearing sunscreen and washing and moisturizing and all this kind of stuff. You know, I'm hearing dermaplaning, stuff like that. You're going to be taking care of yourself, okay? and it's going to help a lot. It's a lesson you were meant to learn this year, to put more effort into yourself. And I love how the only zodiac card that came out is fire signs, and that's the Queen of Wands right there. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You're going to learn to be more open, more outspoken, more leadership, leader inclined. I don't know how to say that. You're going to be more bold, more out there, more outspoken, more fiery, more fun, more playful, okay, more driven. The fire signs, when you think of them, you think of all those things, sexy, okay? The attention is always on them, and that's leading into the whole following thing. So if you have been thinking about starting a following, that could be a part of your lesson, to know that people want to hear what you have to say. You are important. It is not scary to be seen, okay? Maybe you could be scared of being perceived by people. It's not a scary thing. Do it. Start the channel, right? It could be a makeup journey, like I said earlier, do a natural hair journey, watch me grow my hair, or try to learn how to do my hair for the first time, watch me get new clothes and become someone who cares about my looks, do Get Ready With Me, is like, all those things are coming through, right? All those things are coming through. Watch me with my skincare, go on my skincare journey, weight loss journey, healthcare journey, whatever you want it to be, is a vibe coming through, but all eyes are going to be on you. You're going to be gaining confidence. And you're going to realize there was nothing to be scared about all along. Whether people see you or not, as long as you love who you are, it doesn't matter what anybody has to say, okay? That's the lesson you're learning this year. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love, and I mean love, to have you, okay? If you would ever like to get in contact with me or book with me, you can do so using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. If you found your way here to group 2 or chose thumbnail image 2, then welcome. Today's reading is going to be about what lesson are you going to learn this year, okay? So I did a reading like this a few years ago on my tarot not YouTube, what the heck am I saying? On my tarot Instagram. And I think it was pretty good. It was pretty fun getting into a topic like this. And when I was wondering what to do, what reading to get into, this came to mind. So we'll get into it, okay? Group 1 was very beautiful. I love their reading. So, buckle up, buttercup, and we're going to get into your reading as well. What lesson will my group 2s be learning this year? When I was shuffling the cards and asking Spirit to tap me into your energy, I heard resilience, the power of resilience. So that could be a lesson you're learning. Let's see what comes through. For my group 1s, please, Spirit, what lesson will they be learning this year? What lesson will they be learning this year? I'm seeing the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So love could be a theme as well. Maybe resilience in love. Maybe we're going to be hurt or disappointed a lot in love this year, or have been. And you're going to learn to keep fighting, keep pushing forward. I'm hearing just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And there's another song from Just Put One Foot in Front of the Other. That is coming through as well. So my group 2s, please. Let me get a card. Patience as well. Here we have the 8 of Wands. I think a lot of is going to be coming your way this year, good and bad, because there's polarities in the world. With the good comes a little bit of bad, or struggles or challenges that may be overwhelming me because there's too much good sometimes. You know what I mean? Then you get in your head and you're like, do I deserve this good? And it's just a lot, okay? So I feel like you are going to be learning how to overcome a lot of things this year. And it could be good things. It could be difficult things, challenging things. That's kind of life. But let's see what else comes out to clarify this 8 of Pentacles. Why is this 8 of Pentacles? Not Pentacles. Wow, I'm saying the wrong card. It's 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is like fast, swift energy. Maybe you're learning how to heighten the energy you have in your body to produce more energy, right? And I do believe resilience has something to do with physical strength and vigor. So I do believe you're gaining more power. And it's funny because power of resilience, or power and resilience were coming through. I forget the, sequence they came into my head when I was asking Spirit. The power of resilience, what was coming through. But power, resilience, something here about your physical form. Maybe you're like stacking on muscle, right? Or you're putting on weight, right? Maybe some of you are trying to get a bigger bunda. Let me stop. For those of you who don't know what a bunda is, it's a butt in English terms, right? It's a slang term for butt in, London. Here we have the Justice card. Interesting. My group twos, please, Spirit. What lesson will they be learning this year? Oh, the card is just flipping out. Here we have Three of Cups. I'm hearing to just let things be. To not think you don't deserve something or overthink when a lot of good things happen in your life, right? Because all the things that are happening in your life with the Eight of Wands is coming in quick and fast. The Justice card, this is you receiving your good karma. And the Three of Cups is like letting loose, having fun, no worries, celebrating in good times with friends. And it's like there's no worries. It's giving Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days, okay? You're adopting that philosophy this year, okay? When all the good things happen, I'm hearing good things come in threes, right? Everything comes in waves. It comes and goes in waves and carries us away. Waves. I'm hearing love is a swirling storm. Yeah, there's going to be a feeling of being swept off your feet, taken with the waves, gone with the wind. That kind of energy is coming through. In the song, I looked up the lyrics and it's like, there is a swelling storm and I'm caught up in the middle of it all. And it takes control of the person that I thought I was, the boy I used to know. But there is a light in the dark. Can you imagine, or can you believe it? I was talking about polarities and light and darkness earlier, and that was coming through in the song that I was channeling. Never fails, never ceases to amaze me. You're believing in miracles. That's a lesson you're learning, that everything that is coming your way is well deserved. You deserve it. You've earned it. And there's no need for you to feel like you have to earn all these good things, right? So it's like, yes, you've been doing the work. You've been putting in the effort. All these things are coming into your life right now, and there's nothing more that you need to do, right? Or even if you haven't been doing the work and you're getting all these wonderful things, there's nothing that you need to do to earn good things in your life. You don't have to earn someone's love. You don't have to earn affection. You don't have to, not earn money, because we have to, unfortunately. But I feel like if you are, I don't want to say delulu enough, but it's kind of like certain people just go and luck follows them wherever they go because they have this mindset of everything's going to work out for me. I don't really care. Like, you have no choice. Like, you're literally telling the universe, world, the gods, like, you have no choice. I'm going to go out today and I'm going to get $1 million, and I don't care how I get it, who it comes from, where it comes from, I'm getting it, right? I'm going to go out and ace this interview, ace this test, and that's all I have to say about it. Like, you don't allow negativity anywhere near your inner sanctum. And that's how some people operate, and that's why good things happen for them. And I kind of feel like you could be adopting that mentality. Like, no matter what happens, good things are going to happen for me. I deserve all of them. I will not question my worth when all these good things happen to me. And it's just like you're getting into an energy of welcoming things in, But back to what I was saying with this song here. But there's a light in the dark, and I feel its warmth in my hands, in my heart. But why can't I hold on? It comes and goes in waves. It always does. We watch as our young hearts fade into the flood, into the flood. And the freedom of falling, the feeling I thought was set in stone, it slips through my fingers. I'm trying hard to let go. It comes and goes in waves and carries us away. Okay, so I believe this is a beautiful song of losing love after finding love and thinking you're going to be with someone forever. Everything comes and goes in waves. Like, 1 minute the waves are swelling and it's abundant and life is great. The next minute the waves are receding and life seems to be bleak, and but it's kind of like you're going to be learning how to become one with the waves, right? When they are overflowing and when they're receding, right? That's the kind of energy coming through for you guys. I hope I'm explaining it properly, or specific enough for you to understand where I'm coming from. But I feel like a lot of good things are going to be like just swarming into your life, and you're going to be learning to just, oh yeah, of course it's happening to me. Why would it not? Right? That kind of energy. But the first card being Eight of Wands, light a fire underneath your cauldron and go, go, go. There is something here about endurance and movement and running. Maybe you're joining like a running league or a walking league, or you're going to be running a marathon, or you have been running a marathon. There's something here about movement, body movement, because Eight of Wands is like, it's the wands, of course. So it's physical force, right? Passion, fire, creativity. You're going to be overcome with inspiration as well, right? That's coming through. But it's like everything will just be going your way, and you're learning how to just receive is the best way I can put it, to not make it too difficult to understand, okay? We have a full moon also in this card here, so it's kind of like a build-up of emotions that's finally going to be able to be released, right? I'm hearing someone going outside and just like screaming into the ether, screaming into the darkness, screaming into the night, right? And like releasing a lot of pain, okay? A lot of weight will be taken off your shoulders, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're getting swept up in something, and it's like carrying you, this momentum that has been building up for the longest time is going to carry you for a long time, okay? Something significant could be happening in the 8th month of the year, which would be August, okay? Something could be happening in 8 weeks is what I'm hearing as well. That has to do with this lesson you're learning. But we also have justice. Let's not forget. We have stick to your truth and everything will turn out just fine. Interesting. The 8 of Wands with the Justice card and the 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups says, come together with your coven. A big part of your lesson this year is going to be letting people in, being vulnerable. That's a big lesson coming through for you guys as well. Also, speaking your truth. Like, that's what the Justice card is all about. Speaking your truth and getting everything that you deserve, you know? I just keep getting, you're going to be learning how to receive this year. You're going to be learning how to receive love, attention, compliments is what I'm hearing as well. I'm hearing critically acclaimed. So like a rushing in of love and support. Maybe it's something you've been missing for the longest time. It's going to be coming from friends, a new lover, family. You're going to be like, wait, it's going to be overwhelming for you because it's not something that you're used to, right? I'm hearing you're going to be learning how to smile more, open up more, to be vulnerable with the people who care about you the most. I do feel like for whatever reason, you guys don't open up 100% to anybody. Your lesson this year is you're going to be getting very, very, very vulnerable with 1, 2, or at least 3 people in your life, because we have 3 cups. You're going to be giving out a cup to each person, and it's going to be a heartfelt apology is what I'm hearing. It's going to be an outpouring of love. It's going to be a confession, something like that. So for one of these cups, you would be giving it to a best friend and, you know, opening up to them. Another one of these cups, you could be opening up to your family member about something. Another one of these cups, you could be finally learning how to be vulnerable with a significant other in your life, you know? You finally find a relationship that came out of nowhere that kind of like sweeps you off your feet. And like once you're swept up in the moment, you have so much going on, you can sometimes forget to keep your guard up, you know? You could forget to hold that guard up to keep everyone out, right? And the 8 of Wands can sometimes be like a cleansing of energy, or like a... yeah, it's coming to like a wave, where the wave is like washing it all away, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, of how the 7 of Wands comes before the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is such a burst of energy. It can't be tamed. It's such a force to be reckoned with, that whatever the 7 of Wands represents holding your guard and keeping your defenses up. The 8 of Wands comes in after that to fully just wash away whatever guard the person has up, which is basically what I'm saying. This 8 of Wands is coming in to like completely catch you off guard. And the only thing you're gonna have to do or learn to do is go with the flow when the waves come and like sweep you away, right? And there's something that I remember hearing when I forget what movie I was watching, but it was one of those like surfer movies. It could have been like Johnny Tsunami or something like that. The kid who moves from like California to go live in Hawaii, then he becomes like a surfer or something. But I believe in one of those movies about surfing, they say when you go under, it's safe just not to fight the water, to let the water carry you where it needs to go, and eventually you'll kind of like, you know, find your way back up to the top. So basically it's saying the more you fight, the further you get dragged down, or the harder it is for you to like even find your, you know, balance, or find what way is right side up again. You know, the more you fight, the harder it is for you to like just naturally find your way. And yeah, like I was saying, the power of resilience. You can be strong, but you can still be soft, which is why I love the strength card in this deck, because it's like you're having the strength to be soft. It takes great courage to be soft, is what it says on the strength card in this specific deck. And I'm like, that's beautiful, right? Because every time I see it, I'm like, my heart like just goes a little gooey, because I'm like, it does, doesn't it? Because you're opening yourself up to hurt, to disapproval, to constructive criticism. Once you show someone that you care how they think of you and how you feel, or you care about how they feel, that leads a lot of hurt to come through if you're dealing with the wrong person, okay? But I feel like you're going to be dealing with a lot of people you can finally open up to and, you know, be yourself with, is kind of the energy coming through. Let's see what else comes through for my group 2s. What lesson will they be learning this year, please, Spirit? I'm hearing honor. Justice is not all about karma. It's all about being fair. It's all about being balanced. It's also about, what's the other meaning behind the Justice card? Like contracts, you know, legally binding contracts. Maybe you're learning to commit, because Libra is 7th house energy, and 7th house is long-term commitments and marriage and long-term contracts. Wow. And at the bottom, when we were shuffling in the beginning, we did see the Ace of Cups. So that would make some kind of sense. Yeah, you're entering into long-term contracts. So maybe commitment could be something, one of the lessons you're learning this year as well. One of the lessons, commitment. Very interesting. Let's see what else comes out. A good coven lets every witch have a say. Interesting. Maybe you have a tendency to talk over people, or you're learning how to stand up for yourself and speak your truth, either or. Because now that I'm looking at the Justice card again, the Justice card is someone who brings order to the chaos. And if this is coming out for how the lessons you're learning to bring order to the chaos. And I love how now that I'm looking at the 8 of Wands and the Justice card coming right after that, bringing order to chaos. If any card in the deck represents chaos, besides maybe the Tower card, it would be this 8 of Wands, right? I'm hearing unforeseen events, unforeseen for circumstances. That's something you don't like. You don't like to be out of control, but you're going to be learning to go with the flow and find some semblance of balance in feeling out of control, if that makes sense, you know? And I feel like that in and of itself is resilience, right? Okay, that's coming through. So finding clarity, finding truth, finding justice for those people around you, the situations you've been in. It says stick to your truth and everything will turn out just fine. That's what you're doing as well. Maybe you're going to be like minding your business this year as well. Kind of keeping everybody else at bay. I feel like maybe you, I don't want to say you're like a gossip, but maybe you tend to find yourself caught up in like drama between friends or just people in your life in general. And you're going to learn to just be quiet, sit back and relax. The queen, not the queen, I should say. I'm thinking of the Queen of Swords, but the woman who represents justice is someone who sees and looks and evaluates and balances. She don't say much. She's not talking. She's not full of hot air. She's not, you know, just speaking and want to hear her voice talk. I don't think she's even someone who speaks at all in my mind. The Justice Lady don't speak. She just give you a look and kind of like cuts you to the quick. You know, it's like her, I'm hearing her disapproving stare that kind of gives people to fold before her sharp tone would do anything, you know? Because, you know, of course, justice have to have a sharp tone, right? But I'm getting, you don't really have to say much this year. Actions are going to be speaking louder than your words, okay? Especially with the first card coming out for you being 8 of Wands. That's like move, go, 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 okay? Okay, so here we have the Knight of Wands energy. This card fell on the floor, so I do believe you're going to be being a little bit rebellious this year as well. Rebellious. Oh no, group twos. Why are we being rebellious? Maybe you've been called a goody two shoes, or you can suffer from being a goody two shoes sometimes. I understand, guys. I used to be a goody two shoes too. I still can be, but sometimes I just have to just burst out of that energy. It's not fun doing what everyone else is telling you to do, conforming. No, it's more fun being a rebel. I promise you that. Okay. there's a reason why people like crave order and balance, because if everyone were to get a taste of true freedom, the world would like, oh, you don't want to know what the world would look like. But here we have the 5 of Wands and we have the 7 of Cups. I'm hearing sowing your wild oats. So yeah, you're going buck wild. I'm hearing get crazy, get wild, which is the theme song for Jersey Shore. And you're kind of just like doing what they did in their youth. Going out partying, drinking, having a good time, but keeping up a balanced head is what I'm getting as well. You're not going too crazy. But you're living life. Okay? You're living life out here in these streets. The 5 of Wands says, a good coven lets every witch have a say. And this coming out to clarify the 8 of Wands, you're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I do feel like you're going to be advocating for people who can't really speak for themselves, if that makes sense. So your lesson this year is talk less unless you're, okay, how can I describe this? Observe, speak up for yourself, but mostly speak up for others, go with the flow, have fun. Those are your lessons this year. And I heard maybe a sprinkle of like falling in love for some of you, okay? The second card that we have here is, like I said, Knight of Wands, and he definitely gives me very rebellious kind of energy. So you're being very rebellious. For those of you who are like young and still living at home with your parents, and maybe you're going to start testing your limits a little bit more, you're going to be like yanking against the chains to see like how strong they really are. I'm trying to find the word that means like stuck in the house. Maybe you are going through hermit mode, because hermit is kind of like that energy in the tarot where you're just, you know, in your own little bubble of, I'm hearing self-preservation, but also self-ascension, self-acknowledgement. I'm hearing you're acknowledging your wounds and healing them as well. Nurturing your inner child is something coming through too. But this card over here is 7 of Cups. Clarifying the 3 of Cups. Yeah, you're going to be exploring new hobbies as well. I believe this is going to be a year of discovering yourself. You're going to be discovering a new part of yourself. A part of yourself that's outspoken. A part of yourself that hates to see injustices happen. So maybe all the things going on in the media lately, especially with our dusty president as of right now and what he's doing, it could be making you angry. And now it's leading you to start a revolution. Because that's what I originally wanted to say when I first saw the 8 of Wands. I'm like, you're starting a revolution. You're starting something everyone is following behind you. And now it's kind of coming through again, especially with justice here representing political, legal aspects of things. Maybe you're getting into law. Maybe you're finishing your degree. Maybe you're actively choosing now to play a part in what's going on in your community and being an active member of voting. And you know what I mean? Going down to city council and complaining and getting to know your members, assembly members is what I'm hearing. Stuff like that, getting to know more about law and politics, because the world is going in a crazy place. And I feel like if we don't even know our own rights and what we can and can't do, it's going to be dangerous around here. Okay? Not that it isn't already. They're snatching people off the streets. Like, that's wild to me. Calling people illegal. Like, we were all born and God gave us this earth to live together. Like, how dare you say somebody who was born the same way as you is illegal? Like, what? Things are just crazy. You're questioning a lot of things this year as well. You're going into hermit mode. And when you do come out, you're going to be, of course, better for it. But that's not what I meant. Like a force to be reckoned with. You're going to be like out here whipping things into shape. You know? It's the kind of energy coming through for your energy and the lessons you're going to be learning. You may be getting more into law, business, things like that. I feel like I'm hearing statistics. You're getting more into those things because you want to now make a change in the world. It could be you learning all of those things because we have Seven of Cups here, which represents having dibbling and dabbling in a few different things and not wanting to choose. You're kind of like, why choose if I can have it all? I'll have it all. Now, just bear with me. I want to turn on the air because it's hot in here. Or it's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I'm done. Okay. You're going to be researching. I think knowledge is also going to be your friend this year. Knowledge, resilience, the strength to be soft. All those things are coming through for you guys. Now let me get some Crow Oracle. So first card, change, powerful change, abundant change, creative change. So you could be changing jobs, changing careers this year. And it was all inspired by this big gust of energy you felt to just get up one day and change everything. You can't explain why you felt it, but you did. The next card we have is justice, working in law, learning more about law, going back to school because you want to right the wrongs that's been made in the streets. And look at how everybody's running in the streets. Yeah, you want to change what's going on in the streets of this country, of the world even. You're finally ready to speak your truth to the world, and it's something that Spirit is saying will turn out just fine here with the Justice card coming out. There's nothing to be afraid of is what I'm hearing. You're learning to be, like I said, strong and resilient. Now, we have Three of Cups. Maybe learn to let loose a little bit more. Having more fun. Not being a complete stick in the mud is what I'm hearing. Five of Wands. Speaking up for the underdog. Okay? Or inspiring others to speak up as well. This is kind of reminding me of how Kino Tarot has been doing a fundraiser for Fetis, which is a guy who is in Gaza, and she's been like matched with him, and she's been trying everything she can to like raise money for him and his family. And every time she begins a video, it's always with an update, even if the update isn't good or long. She just tells us, and she's like, if you can donate anything, she's kind of doing everything in her power to speak up and do what's right. And even though she's living, lavish in Canada or Tokyo, between those two cities, she knows she can use her platform to help others, and that's what she's deciding to do, right? Even if it does bring her negative, unwarranted attention. If you have the voice, you have to speak out with the Justice card coming through here, okay? That's kind of what it's giving me. Her initiative, or her taking initiative, was encouraging her whole entire collective to do the exact same thing, okay? And sometimes I think about people who have so many subscribers. I'm like, if someone were to just donate $1, do you know how much money, if every single one of her subscribers or these subscribers on social media were to donate $1, that's already like, I think Kino has like over 300,000 subscribers. Can you imagine the money she could have raised for Fetis if everybody just sent $1? Wild to me. And then Seven of Cups, having options, taking your pick of the litter. Okay, these to the side. There's something that's coming through. I'm kind of debating whether I should say it or not. I'll leave it alone. Okay. We have fear. You're overcoming fears, absolutely. And I love how I was mentioning the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz in group 1, I believe it was. Yeah, I've only been doing two groups today. So I was speaking about it in group 1, so you may have caught group 1 as well. Here we have perspective. You're gaining a new perspective on something that has been maybe nagging you or bothering you for some time now. It's like, I can't go any further without touching on the subject, speaking about it, getting it out the way, whatever that thing may be. And maybe you're just talking it out, like I was saying with the Three of Cups, you being open and emotional with someone in your life, or someone important to you, or finally learning how to be, you know, open and vulnerable is going to open you up to this, you know, new connection. And then here we have wrath. Yeah, you're mad about something. You're mad about something. We have fear and wrath and anger. Oh my. Those are lessons you're learning as well, to contain that anger or to use it to have a positive outcome. My group twos, please, Spirit. My group twos. What lesson are they learning this year? The lesson they were meant to learn this year. Spirit, the message. The lesson. Ooh, boy. Here we have Gold Digger. Very interesting. They want your money being used. So maybe you're going to be learning how not to be used. This is kind of giving me a story my best friend was telling me about how she was going to go out of her way to make something for another friend of hers. And so he kind of like canceled last minute, and it ended up working out in her favor. But the fact that you asked someone to do something and they were on their way to do something for you and you just like didn't answer them, left them on red. It's like, it's a crazy world out here. People just want things from you. They don't want to give anything back in return. Your lesson this year is to give as good as you can take, to leave where you're not being appreciated, and to water. Is it grow where you're watered? I think it's that saying. I just felt a burst of like anger. And I saw a scene in my mind, like, you know, sometimes when you're watching the movies and like in the beginning, it was a cute story. The quarterback fell for the cheerleader and they kind of make things work. And then she kind of finds out that he doesn't really like her the way he wanted to, or something like that. There was cheating involved or something. And someone kind of like just throws down something and walks away. The girl like throws down something in front of the guy's feet, stomps away in anger. I'm hearing a scoff as well. There's something like that coming through, and it's kind of like, really? You really just did that? You really just said that? You did that with her? Something like that is coming through, so be careful. And the Three of Cups does denote third-party situations, so maybe you're learning how to not get yourself in those situations as well. But that burst of anger was hot and intense. Like, I was upset for a second. Interesting. This is a very interesting reading. Some of you could like both guys and girls with this sexuality at the bottom of the deck. It could be that your person like cheats on you with another. Okay, so you're a girl. Your person's a guy. He's bi, and he likes other guys as well as other girls. And he's like, it wasn't a girl that I was cheating on you with, but because it was a guy, it's okay because it wasn't the same gender as you. There's something about some bull, some BS that's going to be going on in your life. You're going to have to be this Libra energy and cut through all the BS and be like, no, that doesn't make any sense, Aaron. Stop it. You cheated on me and that's it. It's done and we're over, right? It's kind of giving me how, if you've seen Love Island season 6 with, I forget their names, Kayla and Aaron. Their relationship was so toxic. It was so ghetto. It was so bad. Every episode, he had her sis crying. She was always crying his name. Her face was always red. It was just so ridiculous to see her crying every episode because he would just disappoint her, say something stupid. He like cheated on her and cost her more. Like, and they really, truly thought they were going to win season 6. Like, spoiler alert, they don't. And they just thought because they were the first couple there and they were the strongest and they had the longest connection in the villa. We're not here for freaking what do they call it? Quantity. We're here for the quality of the connection. Their connection was trash. They didn't deserve to win. The people who had like the connections that were further along, but you could feel how deep and true it was. Those are the people that won. Not just because you think you've been with them for a long time that you're gonna win. And they would always call, like, oh, it was just disgusting. It pissed me off. Like, they were such a horrible couple. He was a horrible person. She was a crybaby, had no backbone, but let him run over her. And it just pissed me off. That could be something you're used to doing in relationships or in life in general. And that's something that's going to be ending. Standing up for yourself and running people over with your truth, with your justice card. Like, that's BS. Don't feed me that line. Cheating is cheating. Whether you're bi, you cheated on me with a girl or a boy. You still, like, stop it. It's cheating. That's it. Like, people try to talk around in circles and mix you up and tell you one thing. And it's just, don't listen to it. Clear out all the noise. Go in hermit mode. Maybe your year is meant to be spent alone. You know? What else is coming through for my group 2s? We have yes. Luck is on your side. I will take that as my yes when I was talking about maybe you're supposed to spend this year alone by yourself. No connections, no friends. Just you, yourself, and you. Okay? Or spend more time on your own. Realizing what you truly want, who you really are, is also a theme that could be coming through. Soul searching. Okay? I'm getting the weirdest, like, flashes. When I see something during a reading, it's like a show or a little flash of, like, a memory that's resonating with what I'm saying. So I'm taking that as confirmation in today's reading. So I'm not going to go over every example that I get because y'all may think I'm a mad woman, okay? So let's see what else comes out for you guys. Maybe there's a question you've been asking this whole reading, or a question you have on your mind, on your heart, and this yes is to answer that question, okay? I felt called to say that as well, and I just kept itching my eye. I had to stop. It feels so good, though. Ugh, gosh. What lesson are my group 2s learning this year? Please, Spirit, what lesson are they learning this year? I wanna love you, baby. This song has been stuck in my head your whole reading. I wanna make love to you. I said, baby, baby, baby. Like, Chris, shut up. It's so annoying. Yeah, but I do feel like, even though, okay, this may be a year about you spending it on your own, soul searching, maybe more towards the end of the year or so, you could meet someone, or there's just someone in your energy that wants to make love to you. Because the song would not leave until I sang it out loud. So there you go. Make Love by Chris Brown is coming through. But he's, like, basically begging her in the song. I said, baby, baby, baby. And then he's, like, doing a high note falsetto. I want to make love to you. Like, Chris, shut up. No, you don't want it. You don't want it. Yeah, you could be trying to, like, stay single. This is your year of being single. No relationships. And you have this one person nagging in your ear saying, I'm going to make it worth it, baby. Like, no, blocked. We said. The answer is no. No means no, bro. And what the hell? What was I saying? Intimacy. There's definitely someone. Ugh, the ghetto. Why? I'm like, I know I'm not bugging. This song just keeps coming through. It's like a very sensual song. When I'm sitting here telling you, you're going to have a year to yourself, no dating. And that could just be for some of you. It doesn't have to be for all of you. So take what resonates, please, and thank you. But I'm like, it's going to be all about you. And I also was saying you could be, like, getting deeper emotionally with somebody. And that could lead to more. But then this song just would not go away. I'm like, what do you want? What is your business here? And then we have patience. Maybe there is someone you want to be with real bad, or someone who wants to be with you real bad, but you put parameters on the connection. You told them, we have to be dating for 3 months. We have to have held hands at least 15 times. Have to have kissed at least 10 times. We have to have gone on this amount of dates. And you know what I mean? You have to call me this time every day so we can talk about our day. And, like, you're setting up boundaries and parameters, right? And this person, like, has to learn to be patient, or you have to learn to be patient this year. It's another lesson you're going to be learning, okay? And I did want to say it for you guys in the beginning of the reading, but I didn't want to say it again because I didn't say it for group 1, but I was getting that kind of energy. Like, we're going to have to be patient. Another lesson on top of more lessons. Just great. But just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. And wasn't I saying something here about like 8 weeks to... I said August could definitely be important. August is coming up in like the next month or so. So the end of the year can be important for you for like when things come to fruition. I do feel like there is a need, or there's going to be a chance you get to open up more emotionally to someone. I think you're going to be overcome with feelings because we have the song coming through by D. Lewis. It comes and goes in waves and carries us away. But this here says sexual chemistry reminiscing. So somebody out there could be reminiscing about being with you intimately, right? But besides all that rah, I do believe you're going to be getting a crash course in intimacy this year. With the 3 of Cups coming through, the Libra card coming through, the 8 of Wands, which symbolizes not being able to control the energy. It's just happening to you, right? You have no control over it. Is also coming through. It's kind of like a tsunami, a hurricane, a tropical storm. You can't stop them once they, are coming in your direction. Okay? Unless something beyond us, changes the trajectory of the storm, we're going to get hit by it. And that's kind of what I'm getting. You're going to be hit by feelings, something like that. And you don't see it coming is what I'm definitely hearing as well. But definitely be careful for somebody who just wants your money with this gold that you're coming through. This is supposed to be a lesson you're learning. Are you learning to take money from people? Accept money from people? I'm hearing you're learning to, like I said, receive and be spoiled. That's definitely a vibe coming through for you guys. But this intimacy is going a little crazy right now. I'm hearing Man Child by Sabrina Carpenter coming through right now. I'm hearing something about stupid, or was it she said something of the song, I call it reckless. Something like that before she gets into the chorus of the song. You could be dealing with an immature man child, and that's a lesson you're going to be overcoming this year as well. Stop letting in these man children. Hold your boundaries firm. Be like, no, I don't kiss on the first date. Sorry. If you don't buy me flowers, you're out. If we don't talk and get deep, you're not getting nothing. That kind of stuff is definitely coming through here. And we have yes, luck is on your side. A beautiful card, so luck is definitely on your side. Despite the fear, despite the wrath, these lessons, you're going to be overcoming them. I'm hearing becoming more serene, more one with yourself, okay? More in control of your emotions is definitely a vibe coming through for you guys. Also, my group 2s, when I stopped your reading and started putting away your cards, I started hearing Bedchem. Like, God bless your dad, genetics. And you know what I mean? That song is coming through. So there is definitely going to be some bed chemistry with somebody coming through with that intimacy card as well. So just, take what resonates for you in your situation, in your life right now. If you haven't called off love, then there could be love coming your way. And that's a lesson you're learning. So open yourself up to allow things to come in, to be overcome, swept off your feet, gone with the wind, all that kind of stuff. If you are someone who is putting up those boundaries, you're going to be tested to see if you can withhold those boundaries in this, and within this lesson, right? But I do believe for some of you it's a self-imposed lesson. But yeah. So I'm going to leave your reading right here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 3 or option 3, or you just found your way here, welcome. Just stay, just relax. Today's reading is going to be about what lesson or lessons will you be learning this year. A few have been coming through, and I do plan to just do 3 readings. So if you want to watch more than 1 reading, you could definitely do that. But I do believe multiple lessons are coming through in 1 reading because I'm not doing 4, okay, or more. So let's get into it. Before I started your reading, I saw 555. So your lesson's going to be 1 and change. I'm hearing development, you know. Maybe something about your early childhood development is going to be coming through in these readings, or something here about your future development, your adult development is going to be coming through, okay? I'm trying to figure out the exact word that was coming through. Not coming through, but like mental development. Maybe you're going to be learning to be more forthcoming, because with the 7 of Swords is an energy of being a little shifty. I'm hearing shifting eyes, when you can't make eye contact with somebody because they may be able to tell that you're lying or not telling the truth or telling the whole truth, right? So maybe being more truthful is going to be a lesson for you guys, my group 3s this year. What lesson will my group 3s be learning this year? Please, Spirit. What lesson? What lesson will my group 3s be learning this year? You have the 4 of Pentacles. To spend money better spending habits. Better spending habits. I'm hearing that big no ring, but that don't mean no misses. Buy matching diamonds for 6 of my glitches. I'd rather spoil all my friends with my riches. That think retail therapy my new addiction. Like, why are you buying your friend's 7 ring? Like, what is going on here? This is not a proper use or time. This is not a proper use of money. Giving 7 friends rings, like Ariana, just because you think retail therapy might be your new addiction. Just 1 more bag. That's it. That's all I asked for. Just 1 more thing. I promise I'll never buy again. Like Shopaholics Ladia, group 3 already coming through. But that's the vibe that's coming through. She was like, I want to spend, bro, I can't talk. Gosh, I want to spoil all my friends with my riches. I think retail therapy is my new addiction, okay? Oh, that's what she says. I'm wearing a ring, but ain't gonna be no misses. So I'm just wearing this ring just because. Honey boo boo child. Okay. But the 4 of Pentacles is all about saving. It's restricting yourself. Okay. What other lessons? We have 10 of Cups. Wow. Maybe you're going to be learning not to restrict yourself when it comes to feeling and emotions and love and happily ever after, all that gushy mushy stuff, family. Because we have the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups represents having everything you could want in the emotional sense of the word. When I'm talking about a big house and 10, 15 cars, that's 10 of Pentacles, more stuff. This is you're feeling finally safe and comfortable in a house, in an environment, is something that's coming through as well. Ten of Cups is the opposite of all that financial fulfillment. It's more emotional fulfillment, you know, which is sometimes better. We have 6 of Cups. Your lesson this year, it has to do with your emotions. It has to do with friends and people in your life. So you're learning a lot of lessons through people or with people. 4 of Pentacles says, treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. Maybe you're going to be treating yourself to a lot of new shiny things. I feel like you're going to be getting in money, guys. I think that's what's coming through here. You're going to be getting money and you're not going to be knowing what to do with this. So you're just spending it like crazy. Instead of investing it or putting it away or saving it for a rainy day, you're just like, I'm making money now. There's no need for me to save. But I think everybody, no matter how rich you are, should have like a little bit of change put aside. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. Life is so unpredictable. You could be experiencing a winter season and then 2 weeks from then or 2 weeks later, you're broke and homeless on the street. So there should at least be a backup plan, that kind of thing. You could be learning how to make backup plans. You could be learning how to make financial backup plans. You could be teaching your friends how to spend better money. They're teaching you how to spend better money, you know, or you're encouraging yourself to do the same, you know? I'm hearing besties, and besties is kind of an energy of 6 of Cups. So you could be meeting a new best friend this year. Why did I just see the weirdest vision? I saw a vision of I think his name is, no, that's not his name. If he'll come after me. Okay, so there's like scary movies, right? And in the scary movies, we have like Freddy Krueger, we have Jason, we have Michael Myers, that kind of thing. I was getting two of those scary monster thingies looking at each other, and then one of them turning away, and the other one feeling threatened or spooked. So maybe you're meeting your match in some kind of way. Maybe you're meeting your match. Okay, so a better example, I guess we can say, is a non-commitment phobe. No. A commitment phobe is meeting another commitment phobe. Unfortunately, they like each other. And now they're both stuck in breaking this cycle of we're trying to be nonchalant and not give our emotions away and not tell them how we're feeling. And now it's blowing up back in both our faces. Okay? Because there's an energy there of one predator being conscious of the other. So, for example, Freddy Krueger is sitting in his chair with his freaking claws and sausages and things like that. And he's sitting there minding his business. And then we see Jason, for we'll go with that example, walking down the street. And then I saw Freddy's head twist to the side all the way around and then go back to sitting straight forward. And we have Jason's little spooked because he thinks he's the only predator, big man on campus, the only killer out there. You know what I mean? And there's plenty more where that came from. So it's kind of giving meeting your match, okay? So you're going to be meeting your match and then being spooked by how alike you guys are, how triggered you are by the things that they do that other people used to get triggered by you doing, okay? So for example, if you ghost people, you're going to be meeting somebody who ghosts you, and then you're kind of going to get triggered by it, okay? But you want them to text you back as a kind of thing. So it's giving karma a little bit. So you're someone who doesn't usually care about people's feelings or texting them or keeping in touch with them, and then you finally meet someone who has your emotions all in a tizzy here, and you want them to text back and you want to be in a commitment with them, but they're the mirror of you. So if you're a commitment phobe, so are they. If they don't want to go on dates, neither do you. That kind of thing, but you're interested, your interest is piqued. And you're kind of like, what's going on here, you know? So I think you're going to be learning how to become like one with your emotions, right? You're going to be shaking hands and becoming best friends with your emotions, okay? That's one of the lessons you're learning this year. Treat others how you want to be treated is also the vibe coming through, because it's giving kind of like elementary school, and that's like one of the basic rules we learned in elementary school with the Six of Cups coming out, okay? But the Ten of Cups says, okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. And that's lesson you're learning is going to be teaching you all about lessons and smiles. And I feel like, let me stop. I'm just getting visuals in my mind. It's going a little crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy, but we're not going to get into that right now. I'm going to try to focus on this reading and get it over with, okay? Okay, let's go. The next card we have is, or we're going to talk about the Six of Cups once more. And it says, give yourself the compassion you were never given. So of course you and everyone else that hurts people have like a valid reason for hurting people besides a complete psychopath, you know? But I never maybe you never stopped to ask why you acted that way, why people act that way, that kind of thing, and you're kind of asking that now. A lesson you're learning to look deeper than just the surface. There's definitely an energy of getting your feels though, getting giddy, wanting to know more about someone. I'm hearing meeting your match, right? And that means meeting the person you're meant to be with and will be a good match for you just as much as it means someone who you'll get along really well with, right? So when you needed to meet, you're equal. What lesson? Is that thunder? What? That is thunder. That's crazy. What will my group threes be learning this year? What lesson will they be learning this year? True happiness, true bliss. We have Five of Swords. You can't be right all the time. That could be something you're learning as well, that sometimes arguments aren't even worth it. You could just give it up and move along. The Six of Cups also says, give yourself the compassion you were never given. That could be something you're doing as well, trying to see something from someone else's perspective, putting yourself in their shoes and being nice to them, doing good deeds coming through as well. So that could be a good deed you're meant to do. Let's see what else is coming through for you guys. The lesson that my group 3s are meant to learn this year, please. We have the Empress and we have the Five of Wands. A good Kelvin lets every witch have a say. So we're getting, I think, some repeating cards. This card came out in group 2. This card came out in group 1. Okay? If anyone wants to know. But we have a good Kelvin lets every witch have a say. Yeah, you're going to be more open and listening to people now. You're going to be trying to hear. It's like giving, you're sitting back in your couch and like listening to people's trauma dump on you all year. And I think it's going to be not your job, but you're going to take it upon yourself to kind of give them a different perspective, to ask them why they feel that way. Like, you're just opening yourself up emotionally to other people's pain and suffering. It's just the vibe that's coming through. With these two energies of Five of Swords, you can't be right all the time. And a good coven lets every witch have a say. And it's funny how at the beginning of the reading, I said I saw 555, and we're almost at 555 with these two fives coming out. It's definitely giving these two cards are the cards of like fighting, tension, being too defensive, blowing up on people. I do believe you're going to be mellowing out this energy, especially because it's coming out under these two cards that kind of represent emotional, having a hold on your emotions, right? Ten of Cups, nothing can get Ten of Cups down. Nothing can make it upset. Nothing can make it mad enough, you know? And then here we have the Four of Pentacles. She's kind of sitting like a namaste, wusa kind of connection. Not connection, position. See, there's something here about a connection. Come on now. Stop playing. But yeah, she's sitting here like a very zen pose. Like, hey, it's cool. Right? There could be a lot of inner dialogue this month as well, of your brain telling you stuff that you may or may not believe. It really just depends. I feel like you're going to be going through like a mental, physical, back and forth tug of war in your mind and in your body for whatever reason. This has to do with love, being kissed, letting love in, taking care of others, you know, buying yourself things, believing you deserve nice things, stuff like that. Because here we have the Four of Pentacles and it says, treat yourself to something new every now and again. Then we have the Six of Cups here where this girl is getting flowers. So there's something here about you being lonely and maybe you're done waiting for someone else to bring you your happily ever after. You're going to do it yourself, because the card clarifying this has every witch has to say. So you've decided, I'm not going to be waiting around for my person anymore. They're either going to come find me when they fall from the sky, or that's it, right? You could have been telling a story to one of your friends, like, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I don't believe in soulmates. And then whoppa, you get hit with one. And you don't know what to do, where to go. And then here we have the Empress. So with this being the last card, I do feel like you're going to be ending the year on a good note. The last lesson you're going to learn is to accept all the lessons you learned previously, if that makes any sense to you at all. All the lessons you've learned from the beginning of the year till now. You don't always got to fight back. You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to be the best. There's no competition. You're the only you. You're one of one. Okay? Being nice to people. Living in your truth and being happy, going to the beach, recharging your battery. All those things are coming through really, really, really well. Anything else coming through for my group 3s, please, Spirit? What lesson are they learning? Be more soft. Be more decisive as well. It's coming through. And I'm just noticing that there's all these bottles in the sand. Let me see what they are. They're different elements, right? We have a dolphin. Is that a seahorse? We have fire. Are these all fire? I'm not crazy. These are like giving like, not hieroglyphs, but the hieroglyphs, the things you see in cages that you can't really read, but you can understand because they have pictures. They don't really say what these things are. Let me see if I can see. Taking a vacation, taking a break, taking time for yourself to rest, to pour into yourself is also going to be a really big thing. With the 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and the Empress card energy, it's going to be about you. And I'm hearing filling back up your cup. Because it's depleted, guys. Because it's always a thing for group 3 for me, like, be falling asleep in some capacity. But I was almost, like, falling asleep on yous. Like, hunched over, gonna be snoring in your ear. Child, that's the energy that's coming through. And that's the energy of someone who's not taking care of themselves, who's not getting enough sleep. You know what I mean? Someone who's just maybe working too much or exerting too much energy in the day. That kind of thing. But let me get the book for this deck and see if there's anything that can tell me more about the hieroglyphs on the bottles. 10 of Cups. 7, 9, 10. So it says a family of sea witches enjoys a day at the beach. Also, maybe it's like part of their potions and stuff like that. The Radiant. Maybe we're going to be going outside more. That's also something I'm noticing in these cards. Nature. She's inside here. She's inside here. Okay. But outside by the beach, by the water, in nature. Outside by the flowers and in nature. That's a lesson you're going to be learning more, that nature is very healing. So whenever you're feeling like you want to fight someone, you want to cuss the world out, go sit down and allow Mother God to just take those stress away. Put your feet in the ground, just lie down under a big old tree. Hug a tree, something like that. But it's definitely giving me here, even when she's in the house, she sit crisscross applesauce, right? Okay, so a family of sea witches enjoys a day at the beach, basking in the radiant glow of the sun's rays, as well as the abundance of admiration they have for one another. This card comes to you with an energy of delight because you're either are or will soon be experiencing bliss larger than the ocean itself. So you better get out there and So you better get out there and bottle it up while you can. This card tends to represent extraordinarily happy home, family, marriage, group, or gathering, okay? It can also indicate that you're becoming completely satisfied with where you are in your life. You have everything you need and everything you never thought you would have and more. No one has to pinch you. This is all very real, okay? So they're bottling up the good pieces of life and taking it home with them. It's like giving souvenirs. You're going on trips and souvenirs. So maybe travel could be a part of your thing as well, buying things for yourself. She's buying herself flowers. She's buying herself bags. They're bringing all these happy little trinkets home, right? Things that remind you of happier times. You're cleaning out your space, becoming more zen, becoming more clear about what you want. Those are the lessons you're learning in this year. Even putting away your phone, because she has her phone here and the dog is like, but mother, I'm here. Pay me some attention. And she just like looking up upset, trying to figure out what she's going to respond back to this person on her phone. Like the dog is like, mother, I'm right here. Walk me. Okay? Stop thinking of cutting responses. Be here with me now. Here we have a good coven, lets every witch have a say. They're having a creative discussion. They're not fighting. They're not, trying to overtalk each other. They're all getting their own little say. You know what I mean? It's kind of giving me that movie. I think it's called Bring It On. I forget which one it is. It could be the one with Hayden Panettiere, right? And I forget which one that is. Is it All or Nothing? I don't know. But basically, there's like a baton you have in cheer squad. And whoever's holding that cheer stick can talk. Whoever's not holding it has to be quiet, right? So there's like a specific scene in the movie where she's like, hey, I'm going to let you talk. Maybe you have a problem letting people explain themselves. You cut them off. You talk over them, you know, that kind of thing. You're going to be learning to like let them speak, let them explain themselves. Like I said, there's something here about you opening up emotionally. That's a lesson you're learning, to being more soft and understanding, okay? To realizing that everyone around you is not your enemy, okay? But like I was saying, it led to a fight in the movie because everyone was like grappling to get the baton or the stick, whatever it was called, and everyone couldn't have it at one time, but everyone wanted to have a say in the matter. And it was like, I forget how the scene ends, but it's kind of like, I think someone ends up like breaking it or something, and now no one could speak, or like everyone was like freaking out or whatever it was called. But I'm just like, letting people talk, let them have their say. You say what you want, they say what they want, you know? You're gonna learn to be saving more, is what I'm hearing as well. If I didn't say it, because Four of Pentacles is saving money, right? And this is also kind of giving me, she's clearing out her space and she's trying to figure out, I don't need all these purses. Which one can I give away? That kind of thing, you know? Okay. I'm forgetting all about this Empress energy here. How dare I? But like I said, this is like being soft, being open. Oh, you guys are healing your heart. There's something here about you being more motherly to people around you, or you having a mother figure in your life, right? So like mothering your inner child, or you're going to be helping someone, you know, nurture their own inner child. What lesson will my group 3s be learning this year? Please, Spirit and Lord. We have Ghost. This is the same card that came through in group 1. Some of you could be called to group 1. If this one is not resonating. If you don't come off as someone who's emotionally distant, don't let people talk. You know, you speak over people. You hoard things. You don't save money. You try to, you know, buy things to fill the void in your heart. Then this may not be your reading. We also have Exposed. That's literally how I felt when I was saying all those things. I'm like, well, tell me how you really feel. Jag. Okay? Maybe you're going to be finally grieving someone you lost. But you are going to be feeling very exposed. This lesson that you're learning is going to leave you feeling very exposed. And it may lead to you wanting to lash out. With this Five of Swords here, you want to lash out. You want to say things to hurt people. But you have to learn sooner or later that harsh words is not the answer. Feeling your way through the madness is the answer, right? Interesting. There could be something here about your dirty laundry coming to light if you have dirty laundry. Okay. Let's do this dirty laundry, this dirty laundry. That song is coming through, Dirty Laundry by Kelly Rowland. And I do believe that's her song that she was singing. I don't want to say that's her first solo song, but she was basically like saying what happened in the aftermath of Destiny's Child like disbanding, and whenever they disbanded, I forget. And she was like, this guy was beating on her. Her sister was, which is Beyonce, I guess, was having this great, amazing career, and she was at home getting beat on, and you know what I mean? She didn't understand where her life was going. So kind of overcoming misery, and that's what the Ten of Cups is saying. You're gonna have that, oh my gosh, Eureka, this is what it was all for kind of moment this year. That's the lesson you're learning. You're going to be learning why you have to go through all these things. Burying old ghosts, okay? Feeling exposed, like your nerve endings is going to be very uncomfortable for you, but it's going to lead to like a better outcome. Because here we have gifts. Oh, this is beautiful. I like this reading. You could be unlocking like more spiritual gifts, or just psychic gifts, or I'm just hearing natural gifts. You could be exploring your creativity a little bit more, because cups are more than just emotions. They're creativity as well. Artistic music can be important as well. I think that was something that I was going to say at the beginning of your reading, or maybe it was for group 2. I'm not 100% sure. But a bunch of songs were coming through, and I'm like, wait, music could also be important. You're learning that. Maybe you're going to be writing more. You know what I mean? You're going to be putting your story to pen and paper and writing an autobiography, or I think that's what it's called, a memoir or whatever. Here we have Scavenge, and then we have Gifts. It's funny how we have Scavenge and we have Gifts. That's like a very polar opposite energy. Scavenging is having to look for any little scrap of anything because there's not much there. And gifts are things being freely given to you. So maybe you're going to be moving through these polarities here, from going from having nothing to having something. Four of Pentacles is also not holding on too tightly to certain things. Four of Pentacles can be a possessive kind of energy. Like, I'm holding on so tightly to something that I can't let it go, right? So control issues, you're going to be releasing those as well. And with the Six of Cups coming through and the ghost, you're going to be burying ghosts of the past. Absolutely. And at the bottom of this oracle deck, we have caking. And then we also have community. So community can be important to you. Okay, you're going to be learning more about community, opening up to friends, meeting new friends, okay? But this caking is definitely giving me a vibe of you're burying something and saving it for later, right? You're burying something and saving it for later. I'm hearing this better the second time around. Whew. You're going to be learning to find something from nothing. You're going to be receiving a lot of gifts. You're going to be learning how to receive as well. That's the Empress energy for me a lot of the times, especially in this reading for like a lesson learned. You're going to be learning how to receive things without questioning and wondering why and what did you do to deserve it and that kind of stuff as well. A lot of healing and purging and overcoming in this group. Those are the lessons you're going to be learning for sure. Let us get some more cards. Like, I hate when I think the reading's going to go a specific kind of way and then it just doesn't. I'm like, this is not what I expected, but sure, let's go with it. And then I get in my head and overthink and I'm like, oh, this reading is crap. Then nobody's going to want to watch it. And I'm just like, ugh, I'm tired, you know? Going through emotions here behind the scenes. Like, it was supposed to be a juicy reading about finding the love of your life and finding yourself and finding the power inside. And do you believe in life after love? And I'm getting nothing. Or I feel like I'm not getting much from the reading, but I've been here for 20 minutes, so I have to have been saying something, right? Probably longer than 20 minutes because I had to pause the reading as well. So probably 28 minutes at this point. And I feel like I've been saying a whole lot of nothing. Here we have moving. I read that as moving on. So you are going to be moving on. I'm here. Yeah, caking is like saving something for a rainy day. Like, I don't need all of this right now. Let me eat what I can and put the rest away for later. So definitely the lessons you're going to be learning is about money and happiness, okay? I'm trying to see if there's any books I can recommend around those topics. I think, no. Nope. Maybe we're going to be keeping a money journal, keeping track of how you spend. We have caution. What does this card here say? You're going to be believing you deserve nice things. At least that. Here we have liar. Be careful of someone sneaky. Very interesting. Here we have caution. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself. Absolutely. And then we have moving. I'm trying to make sense of all these cards coming out. It's funny how when I started your reading at the bottom of the deck, we had the Seven of Swords. And like I said, you were gonna be learning how to be more open. Was that your group? Was it group 2? See, now I don't even remember for real. Like the Seven of Swords and the energy of hiding, of running away, being a thief in the night. You are learning how to be open, vulnerable, being seen, right? The Empress is someone who's thrust into the spotlight. She can't be missed. Everyone is viewing her, seeing her, applauding her, praising her, loving her. And that is like coming all the way at the end, because that could be the thing you're most uncomfortable with, being seen, being perceived, being understood. And that's something you've been grappling with, right? You can be happy emotionally, you can be fulfilled financially, and still not want to be seen or want to be in the spotlight at all. And there's something here about you overcoming that energy, outgrowing that energy. Like, here, see my work. If you are an artist and you paint things, nobody's going to want to see my work. The same way I'm like, I've been sitting here talking for 20-something minutes. Do y'all even care what I have to say? Is anybody even still watching, right? Am I making any sense? And it's kind of like when I post a video and I'm like, it wasn't even as bad as I thought it was. I'm just getting in my head. You know what I mean? Boy, it's annoying out here. I know it must be hard for you guys as well since it's coming through. Change of residence, moving in with your partner. Ooh, that could be something that's happening as well. If you have a partner. Let's see what else is coming through. You have water signs. So this partner coming through could be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What lesson are they going to be learning this year? I do believe you're going to be learning to be vulnerable. Vulnerability, opening up your heart, listening to your heart, believing you're worthy of love, being seen and cherished and truly loved in a connection. Finding that happily ever after kind of love is also what's coming through the 10 of Cups here. 6 of Cups is, like I said, feeling like you could be your entire whole self with a person. Giving them time to talk. If someone gives you a compliment, thanks. Not, oh, shucks, you shouldn't have. Or getting shy. You're going to be like, yeah, hey, what up? Thanks, I am great, right? Here we have divorce, experience a breakup. Some of you could be experiencing a breakup this year, while others of you are going to be moving in and taking things to the next level with a partner. If you haven't met them yet, the most you could be doing is like spending like the weekend at their house and getting a drawer is kind of what I'm getting, you know? If it hasn't happened already, because we're almost, not almost the end of the year, but I don't know, a lot could happen. And then, and like, you know, like, what is it called? We have like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You have 4 months left in the year. We're in July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, 4 months. You're going to meet someone and move in with them. That's a bit drastic, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like if you haven't already been dating someone, you're going to be moving in with them, or you're not breaking up with them, you're going to like have a drawer at their house and they're going to be at their house, you know? That kind of thing. Here we have gambling, problems with addiction, or gambling, bad finances. That's that 4 of Pentacles coming through. Saving money and not spending it all in one place. Learning how to manage it. Like, yeah, I buy myself nice things, but there's no need for me to go buck wild. You know what I mean? Caution is also giving me, this is giving me first aid kit. The sign here is giving first aid kit. You're going to be learning how to take care of yourself. Maybe you're going to school for nursing or being a doctor or something. And there's going to be more time you're spending, you know, taking care of others, essentially. That's the Empress card. Maybe some of you have kids and they're going to be taking care of them, you know. That's what I got, though, for you guys. And at the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of Wands. Witches should hold other witches accountable. Interesting. So people are going to be holding you accountable, and that's something they're going to have to learn how to do. Take constructive criticism, take it on the chin, and not like blow up or act like you don't need anything. You're holier than thou or better than everyone else. Like, everyone should be able to be open to constructive criticism, things they could be doing better. And that's a lesson you're going to learn this year, okay? But I'm going to leave your reading right here. I hope it resonated. Better finances, though, is going to be a thing coming through for you guys, a lesson, you know? And, like, romance is coming through as well in this deck. You too. Wow. You heard me just say you too, right? I swear I heard somebody say, like, I love you. And I'm just like, you too. Maybe you're going to be saying I love you to someone and not just you too. I wish I would tell somebody I love them and all I hear back is you too. I would not do too, though. I want to hear I love you too. I want to hear the words. Okay, I don't want to hear just a you too. What is a you too? You too is a band. I'm not a band. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just said you too. I'm like, what are you saying? And I'm like, I swear I heard something. I'm not crazy, guys. I swear, okay, so let me explain, okay? I was saying the whole spiel in my head, like, bye, like, see you in the next one. Then I heard, like, love you, and like I said, you too, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Or even the band U2 can be important. They're like U, the letter U, and then the number 2. They could be important to you guys, and that could be a lesson you're learning. I'm hearing, was it you guys that was getting something about waves? I'm getting a song by them. Every breaking wave on the shore tells the next one there'll be one more. And every captain knows that hold on, let me get the song. And it says, and every gambler knows that to lose is what you're really there for. And we have freaking gambling. Stop playing in my face. I tell y'all when these songs be coming through, I'm like, but for why? And it always tells me why. And so it says, every sailor knows that the sea is a friend made enemy. And every shipwrecked soul knows what it is to live without intimacy. Okay? So there's something here about like, yeah, being on your own. Every breaking wave that comes to the shore tells the next one there'll be one more. Okay? And it's like telling you like not the facts of life, but there's just something here about coming to certain realizations or people just inherently knowing certain things and being able to trust that, right? But I do feel like by the end of the year, you're going to be in this Empress energy of sitting pretty, realizing or believing fully that you deserve great things, because you're going to have great things, right? If finances aren't that well, once you learn to save throughout the year, your finances are going to be looking better, right? Once you learn to be open more emotionally, you're going to be in a, very fulfilling connection where you can say, I love you too, or I love you, period. You know what I mean? You're going to be in this Empress energy of like, oh, I'm just this divine feminine looking cute, twiddling my thumbs. My man is going to work for us. He coming home. I have my own money. He's spoiling me with the Six of Cups energy. Six of Cups always gives me that as well, especially with this flowers card. It's like, not flowers card, but flowers imagery. This person giving somebody flowers, spoiling you, giving you things, right? I feel like it's not interchangeable, but I feel like the Six of Pentacles and Six of Cups sometimes can mean the same thing to me. Generosity, being kind, reminding you of people who care about you, So that's going to be your thing. We're knowing that people do care about you. You have a family, a person, people in your life who love you, a lesson learned, right? Maybe because you went from being someone who didn't really think anybody cared about you, you kept to yourself the Four of Pentacles, didn't really care to be a part of anything, and now you're going to be a part of something. It's going to be very refreshing and beautiful, okay? But a lot of things are coming through for you guys. But like I said, I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.